What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Erasure, and I'm very excited. I just got what I think is sort of their breakthrough album, the album that really sort of catapulted them to international fame. We're talking the Circus, and I've actually gotten two other albums from them recently. Their opening album, Wonderland, and their third album, The Innocents. And a friend of the channel, Han Solo, was saying I should really get the Circus because you can hear the transition from the sound of their debut album, Wonderland, into the sound of The Innocents, but he was suggesting that this one is, there's a bit of flavor of both. You can sort of see and hear the transition from one style to the other. Interested about that. As with their first album, this album here shows 2 years for the production dates, 1986 and 87. So again, maybe as Han Solo was saying, they released some of the singles in 86 and then the full album came out in 87. Nevertheless, we're going to listen to the first tune. It's called It Doesn't Have to Be. Don't remember that by name. I do know some of their tunes, and there's actually been once or twice where a song that I didn't remember by name, in fact, maybe it's just once. I think it was one of the last tunes that I reacted to from them. Oh yeah, it was Cry So Easy. Once it started, the Sonics actually did come back to me. I think I must have heard it on the radio. But I'm not sure by name. It doesn't strike a chord, so we'll have to see. But yeah, this is It Doesn't Have to Be by Erasure on the Circus. I should mention, this album was produced by Flood. I know Flood is someone who worked with Depeche Mode on at least one or two of their albums, if not more than that. I don't know too much about them, so if you do have some information on him, do let me know. It also makes a point that, wait, which one? Oh, in the Hall of the Mountain King, which I'm a big classical music fan. Edvard Grieg, like a lot of his music, and that piece in particular is sort of, legendary and iconic, and I think it's been sampled and sort of covered in a number of different musical styles. I don't remember Erasure's version of that, so I'd be very interested to get there, but it does make a point with an asterisk that was produced by Vince Clarke. So I think the album overall was produced by Flood. Nevertheless, let us get to it. This is It Doesn't Have to Be by Erasure on their 1987 album, The Circus.
You are on one side and I'm on the other. Are we divided? You are on one side, I'm on the other.
This doesn't sound familiar though. The bass line.
There are no rights. This isn't your decision. We need to talk and change it, things that no one wants to listen.
Oh,
Doesn't have
so the bass line is fantastic, but that I like that too. That sort of it's like cascading down the track. Oof. Oh yes, that hard I love that. Again, I do enjoy Belle singing. Oh. That vocal effect and then that hard sort of grinding synth again. And again, the optimism of the lyrics, why does it have to be that way? Can't we rearrange it? Can't we do something better and more healthy? Yeah. One against one. Doesn't have to be like that. Almost like a kind of tribal feel to this part. Or like Caribbean feel maybe. Yeah, I don't remember this at all. This is great. If you played this part for me though without any context, I likely wouldn't have guessed that it was Erasure. Maybe now I would. Oh my god. Those vocal fragmentation effects leading into that hard synth again. I love that sequence. love that. It's kind of like a big melody. All the while, underneath it all, the Vince Clarke bass line doing work. Kind of giving Belle's voice the opportunity to kind of really stand out and like expand into the sky right there. Woof. It's like the song like took off like a bird into the sky at the end there. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I don't remember that by sound. And again, there was that really interesting middle section where it had sort of like a Caribbean kind of islander feel. But then, like I said, the return of Belle's voice sort of like kicked it back into what I would more traditionally expect to be sort of an Erasure sound. But I like that diversity. I like sort of having that middle section that sort of had a different sound, and then sort of you bookend that with the more, synth-driven or like typical sort of Vince Clarke synth pop sort of sound. But yeah, that was really cool. Excited to go through this album. None of the tracks by name stood out to me as, oh yeah, I remember that one too. As I've explained, the three that really stuck out in memory were Who Needs Love Like That, Chains of Love, Chains of Love and Ship of Fools. But beyond that, it'll be more hit or miss if any of them sort of come back to me. But this one didn't, but I really enjoyed it. As I said, I think this is a huge album for them, a sort of breakthrough album. That's the way it's been described to me. So excited to hear, like why that was the case, and, the way the songs sort of segue into each other and sort of the overall feel of the album. So I'm going to go through it in order unless someone really has a request that they'd like to hear sooner than that. But I am also going through their other two albums too, so as well as albums from other bands. So I'm just going to kind of try to keep everything in the lane in front of me and get to it as I can. But yeah, I'm going to go through this whole album. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of that song. And do let me know if you have another a suggestion or request. Other than that, thank you. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I will see you next time.